What if the real reason you're stuck isn't your circumstances, but your mindset? What if your habits, your daily choices, and the way you respond to pressure are silently shaping your entire future? Ask yourself, why do some people rise from nothing while others stay exactly where they are? Why do small decisions compound into life-changing results? And most importantly, what are the hidden rules that successful people follow, but never talk about? If these questions hit you even a little, then stay tuned. Because the summary of this book reveals powerful lessons on mindset, discipline, wealth, and building a life that actually moves forward. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact answers to these questions and how you can use them to upgrade your own life starting today. Chapter 1: Why Focus is Your Superpower. Imagine if you had a switch that could instantly help you concentrate on any task. How different would your life look? That's the core promise of The Art of Staying Focused, and the book opens with a powerful truth. In today's loud, fast, distraction-filled world, focus has become a rare superpower. Most people think they're busy, but rarely are they actually moving toward their goals. We scroll, we check notifications, we jump from tab to tab, and by evening it feels like nothing meaningful got done. This isn't lack of time. It's lack of focus. The author explains that the brain naturally chases whatever gives instant pleasure, like checking the phone or scrolling videos. But long-term success only comes when you train your mind to prioritize what truly matters. Focus, the book says, isn't talent, it's training. Just like muscles grow through exercise, your attention strengthens when you repeatedly bring your mind back to what you're doing. It will wander, and pulling it back is the real workout. The author also reveals a simple but life-changing insight. Your mornings are your sharpest hours. Your brain is freshest at the start of the day, so your most important tasks should be done before distractions hit. And then comes one of the book's strongest lessons. Multitasking is a myth. People treat it like a skill, but in reality it drains your mind, slows your progress, and kills deep work. True power comes from single tasking, going all in on one task at a time. This chapter ends with a reminder: fear is one of the biggest enemies of focus. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of trying something new. When you rise above that fear and fully commit to your goal, your focus becomes unstoppable. Chapter 2: The Real Enemies of Your Attention. This chapter hits hard because it exposes the hidden traps that steal your focus every single day, often without you realizing it. The author explains that focus isn't destroyed in big moments. It's destroyed in tiny, repeated distractions. We tell ourselves it's just one notification, just one quick check, just one message. But these small breaks force your brain to restart again and again, killing the mental momentum you need for deep concentration. Here are the biggest enemies of focus the chapter reveals. Your phone, the silent thief. Your phone is engineered to keep you hooked. Every ping releases a burst of dopamine, and your mind becomes addicted to that tiny hit of excitement. That's why even when the phone is silent, your brain still expects something to happen. The solution: keep it out of reach during work. Not on the desk. Not face down. Far away. Lack of clear goals. The author explains a brutal truth. A distracted mind is often an undecided mind. If you don't know exactly what you're trying to achieve, your brain will jump to whatever feels easy. Clarity is power, and clarity fuels focus. Chaos in your environment, a messy desk, loud noise, too many open tabs, all of it drains your mental energy. Your mind can't focus if your surroundings constantly demand attention. A clean, calm environment automatically boosts attention and reduces stress. Tiredness and low energy. Most people try to force focus, but the real issue is simple: they're exhausted. The chapter makes it clear: a tired brain cannot focus, no matter how hard you try. Sleep, nutrition, and hydration become part of the focus toolkit. Emotional overloadery, stress, overthinking, these are silent distractions. When your mind is busy fighting internal battles, it can't stay present with your work. The author encourages practicing emotional awareness and grounding techniques so your mind stays light and centered. The chapter ends with one clear message: you can't win the focus game until you identify what's breaking it. Chapter 3: Building a Mind That Stays Focused. Set this chapter shifts from understanding distractions to training your mind to stay focused even when the world tries to pull you away. The author explains that your brain is like a highly trained dog. If you don't control it, it will run everywhere. But with consistent training, it becomes disciplined, sharp, and aligned with your goals. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 3. Start with small focus sessions. Deep concentration doesn't happen overnight. You begin with short sessions, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, where you commit to one task with full attention. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back. That bringing back is the workout that builds focus strength. Remove what you don't need. Your mind can only stay still when your environment is set up for it. Before you start working, remove every unnecessary item, tab, or notification. Less clutter equals more clarity. Train your brain with single tasking. Your mind performs best when it works on one task at a time. Single tasking increases productivity, calmness, creativity. Finish faster and with higher quality without feeling drained. Practice mindfulness, not perfection. Mindfulness is simply paying attention to the present moment. It's not about meditation or silence, it's about being aware. The book explains that when you learn to watch your thoughts instead of fighting them, your mind naturally settles and stays focused longer. Use your peak hours wisely. Some tasks require full mental power. This chapter reminds you to schedule your toughest work during the moments your mind feels sharp, usually mornings. Don't waste your best hours on distractions. Invest them in your growth. Build consistency over intensity. This is one of the book's strongest messages. Success comes from doing the right things repeatedly, not from doing them perfectly once, even if you focus well for just 20 minutes daily. You're rewriting your brain's wiring. Chapter 3 ends with this powerful truth: a focused mind isn't born. It's built one small session at a time. Chapter 4: Why small improvements create big results. This chapter explains a simple but life-changing truth. Small daily improvements compound into massive success over time. Most people wait for big breakthroughs, but real growth happens quietly in the small things you do every single day. Here are the key lessons from Chapter 4. Progress starts with tiny steps. Big transformation doesn't begin with huge effort. It begins with small, repeatable actions. A 1% improvement each day seems almost invisible in the moment, but over weeks and months it grows into something powerful. This slow, steady improvement becomes the fuel for long-term success. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to work extremely hard once. You need to work steadily again and again. The chapter highlights that showing up daily, even for a few minutes, rewires your brain for discipline and growth. Small actions done consistently always outperform big actions done occasionally. Compound growth works in the background. The author explains that small habits work like compound interest. You don't see progress at first, but every small step adds up. Then one day the results suddenly become visible. People think success came overnight, but you know it was slowly building all along. Tiny wins keep you motivated. Small improvements are easier to maintain, so you avoid burnout. You feel a sense of progress without overwhelming yourself, which keeps your motivation strong throughout the process. Less pressure, more consistency. Small habits shape your identity. A small action tells your mind, I'm the kind of person who grows daily. These tiny choices slowly build a new identity, someone disciplined, focused, and committed to long-term success. Chapter 4 closes with a powerful idea. Big success doesn't come from big moments. It comes from small, steady steps repeated over time. Chapter 5: Breaking the habits that hold you back. This chapter focuses on removing the patterns that silently block your growth. The author explains that your progress doesn't just depend on building good habits, it also depends on letting go of the habits that drain your time, energy, and focus. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 5. Identify the habits that slow you down. You can't fix what you don't see. The first step is becoming aware of behaviors that feel normal but are quietly destroying your progress, such as checking your phone every few minutes, starting tasks and never finishing them, overthinking simple decisions, working without a clear plan. When you notice these patterns, you begin to understand what's holding you back. Replace bad habits with better alternatives. Your brain doesn't like empty space. If you stop a habit without replacing it, you will eventually fall back into it. That's why this chapter teaches a simple rule: don't remove a habit, replace it. Example: instead of scrolling your phone at night, read for 10 minutes. Instead of thinking too much, write down your next 3 actions. Small replacements lead to big behavioral changes. Understand your triggers. Every negative habit has a trigger: boredom, stress, notifications, environment, certain people. When you identify what triggers your unwanted actions, it becomes easier to break the pattern before it starts. Awareness gives you control. Create a system that makes bad habits hard. This chapter suggests making negative habits inconvenient. Examples: keep your phone in another room while working, divisible or non-essential. Notification: save it environments that distract. Keep only the tools you need in your workspace. When a habit becomes difficult to do, your brain naturally stops craving it. Build discipline through small decisions. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about making slightly better choices throughout the day. Every time you say no to a distraction, your self-control gets stronger. Every time you redirect your focus, your mind becomes more stable. These small decisions accumulate and eventually break the old patterns for good. Celebrate the moments you improve. The author emphasizes that breaking habits takes time. You must appreciate even the smallest wins, catching yourself before a distraction, finishing a task fully, avoiding a negative pattern, choosing a better option. The small victories train your brain to stay on the right path. Chapter 5 ends with a clear message. You grow faster not just by adding good habits but by removing the habits that limit your potential. Chapter 6, Protecting Your Energy and Mental Space. This chapter explains a powerful truth. Focus isn't only about what you pay attention to, it's also about what you protect yourself from. Your energy is limited, and if you don't guard it, distractions, people, and unnecessary tasks will drain it. Here are the main lessons from Chapter 6. Your energy is your real asset. Success doesn't just need time, it needs the right energy. Even if you have hours available, you won't perform well if your mind is tired, stressed, or cluttered. This chapter teaches you to notice what drains your energy, notice what restores your energy. Choose activities that move you forward, not ones that exhaust you. When your energy is strong, your focus naturally improves. Stop saying yes to everything. One of the fastest ways to lose focus is by agreeing to tasks, plans, and responsibilities you don't actually care about. Every yes you give to others becomes a no to your goals. The author suggests setting simple boundaries. Say no to unnecessary commitments, limit conversations that waste time, protect your morning horse, keep your priorities visible. Boundaries are not rude, they are essential for growth. Create a distraction-free zone. Our environment can either support your focus or destroy it. This chapter encourages you to design a space where your mind feels clear. Only keep items related to the task. Limit noise and interruptions. Keep your phone away. Use one workspace for deep work. Only when your environment is clean, your mind becomes clean too. Control what enters your mind. Your mental space gets influenced by social media. Conversation of author's emotional triggers. Most of the stress you feel doesn't come from your life, it comes from the information you consume. This chapter reminds you to be intentional about what you allow into your mind. Schedule time for rest. Focus increases when you rest properly. Rest is not laziness, it's a performance tool. The author recommends taking short breaks, sleeping well, stepping away when your mind feels full, giving your brain time to reset. A rested mind performs better, learns faster, and stays calm longer. Protect your attention like a treasure. Your attention creates your future. Where you place it determines the results you get. That's why the chapter's final message is, if you don't protect your attention, someone else will control it. Strong focus begins with strong boundaries. Chapter 7, Building Systems That Make Success Automatic. This chapter makes one thing very clear. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you rise to the level of your systems. Goals give you direction, but systems create the daily actions that move you forward. Here are the key lessons from Chapter 7. Goals show you where to go, systems show you how to get there. Everyone has goals. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't is the system they follow every day. A system is simply a routine, a structure, a step-by-step process, a repeatable method. When your system is strong, you don't rely on motivation. Your progress becomes natural. Build routines that support your identity. This chapter explains that your systems must reflect the kind of person you want to become. For example, if you want to be disciplined, create a morning routine. If you want to be healthy, design a daily movement plan. If you want to grow mentally, schedule reading or learning time. Your identity strengthens when your systems support it. Make good habits easy to start. Most people fail not because habits are hard, but because the start is hard. That's why this chapter teaches the rule. Reduce the friction. Examples: keep your study material ready the night before. Of distractions from your workspace. Keep your phone in another room. Prepare your to-do list in advance. The easier it is to begin, the more likely you'll stay consistent. Automate what you can. Success becomes much simpler when you remove decision-making from your day. Automation ideas: fixed wake-up time, pre-planned meal, scheduled study or work, wholesome routine for starting your tasks less you think, the more you do. Review your system weekly. This chapter encourages regular check-ins with yourself. Ask, what worked? What slowed me down? What needs adjustment? Small improvements to your system create powerful long-term results. Focus on the process, not the outcome when you stick to the system. Results will come automatically. The chapter ends with a simple but powerful reminder. Success is a side effect of the right system. Build the system. Follow it daily, let it carry you forward. Chapter 8, Staying Motivated. When progress feels slow, this chapter explains one of the biggest challenges in self-growth. You won't always see quick results, and that can make you doubt yourself. The author shows how to stay motivated even when progress feels invisible. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 8. The plateau of slow progress is normal. Every meaningful goal has a phase where you work hard but see very little change. This isn't failure, it's part of the process. Your efforts are building a foundation underneath the surface. Just like roots growing before a plant breaks through the soil, patience is a skill, not a feeling. Don't judge progress too early. Most people quit because they expect results too fast. This chapter reminds you, skills take time to develop, habits take time to stabilize, confidence takes time to strengthen. Early progress is often invisible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Trust the process longer than others do. Track your small wins. Motivation grows when you can see proof of improvement. Simple ways to track progress: daily check marks, habit trackers, a done list, weekly reviews when you visually see what you've completed. Your mind stays encouraged. Small wins build big momentum. Reconnect with your why. Your reason for starting is your strongest source of motivation. This chapter encourages you to regularly remind yourself why you want to grow, what you want to change, who you want to become. Your why is clear. Staying consistent becomes easier. Use environment for motivation. Motivation doesn't come from willpower alone, it comes from your surroundings. You can boost motivation by working in a clean space, keeping inspirational reminders nearby, surrounding yourself with focused peer prioritizing triggers that slow you down. A supportive environment keeps your mind steady. Celebrate effort, not just results. Success isn't only about the outcome, it's about the effort you show every single day. Even if you improve a little, you showed up, you move forward, you stayed committed. This mindset keeps you inspired during slow phases. Progress compounds when you stay patient. The chapter ends with an important message. Slow progress isn't no progress. It's the kind of progress that lasts. When you stay patient, consistent, and committed, the results eventually catch up, and often faster than you expect. Chapter 9, Mastering the Power of Self-Discipline. This chapter dives into one of the most important skills for long-term success: self-discipline, the ability to do what matters, even when you don't feel like it. The author explains that motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps your life moving forward steadily. Here are the key lessons from Chapter 9. Discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. People often think discipline is something you're born with. This chapter makes it clear: discipline is learned, practiced, and strengthened like a muscle. Every time you follow through, even in small ways, you build more internal strength. Remove the need for willpower. Discipline gets easier when you stop depending on willpower. The chapter suggests create routines that guide your day. Prepare your environment so work becomes automatic. Limit choices so you don't have to decide repeatedly. Set a fixed start time for key tasks when systems carry you. Discipline becomes natural instead of forced. Decide once. Follow daily. On powerful idea from this chapter. Make important decisions once, live them daily. For example, decide you will work out daily. Then follow the routine. Decide you will avoid your phone in the morning. Then stick to the rule. Decide to work in deep focus for 1 hour. Then start at the same time every day. A single decision repeated over time becomes discipline. Build discipline with small promises. You don't need to start with large commitments. Start with small promises like, I will read for 10 minutes. I will complete one meaningful task today. I will avoid unnecessary screen time. When you keep these small promises, your self-trust grows, and so does your discipline. Expect resistance, but don't follow it. Your mind will sometimes try to avoid effort. That's normal. The key is not to obey every feeling. This chapter teaches you to notice the resistance and move anyway, even if it's slow, even if it's imperfect. Action weakens resistance. Avoidance strengthens it. Discipline creates freedom. It may sound strange, but this chapter explains a deep truth. Discipline doesn't restrict your life. It frees you from procrastination, stress, minute pressure, missed opportunities. A disciplined life gives you more control, more time and more peace. The chapter's final message: success isn't built on motivation. It's built on disciplined actions repeated long after the excitement fades. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Chapter 10: Designing Your Environment for Success. This chapter explains a powerful truth that most people overlook. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation does. If your surroundings support your goals, progress becomes smooth. If they don't, you'll struggle even with strong willpower. Here are the main lessons from Chapter 10. Environment is stronger than motivation. If disciplined people fail in a weak environment, for example, a cluttered desk reduces focus, a noisy room increases distraction, a phone nearby pulls your attention, a messy space increases mental stress. When your environment is aligned with your goals, good habits happen naturally. Make good habits easy to start. This chapter teaches that your environment should push you toward good actions automatically. Examples: keep your book on your pillow, you'll read before sleeping. Keep your water bottle on your desk, you'll drink more. Keep your workout clothes ready, you'll exercise faster. Keep your workspace clean, you'll think clearly. Small adjustments create big behavioral changes. Make bad habits hard to continue, just like good habits need support. Bad habits need obstacles. Examples: keep your phone in another room while working. Remove social media shortcuts from your home screen. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Keep junk food out of your sight. When bad habits become inconvenient, they lose their power. Surround yourself with the right people. People are part of your environment too. This chapter reminds you that you become like the people you spend the most time with. Surround yourself with individuals who value growth, stay focused, encourage discipline, respect your goals. The right people lift you, the wrong people drain you. Use visual cues to stay on track. Your brain responds strongly to visuals. Use cues like a calendar with check marks, a sticky note with your goals are visible, to-do list, a clean workspace. These small signals keep your mind aligned and prevent you from slipping back into old habits. Create dedicated spaces for important tasks. Your brain associates places with behaviors. That's why the chapter suggests use one space for deep work, another for relaxation. Avoid mixing work with entertainment. Cup your bed, but sleep only when your brain knows the purpose of each space. Your focus improves automatically. The chapter's final insight: you don't have to fight your environment every day. You can design it in a way that makes good habits effortless, makes bad habits inconvenient, keeps you focused, supports your goals by default. A well-designed environment turns success into your natural direction. Chapter 11: Eliminating Distractions Before They Control You. This chapter focuses on one of the biggest threats to your success: distractions, the silent killers of time, focus, and potential. The author explains that distractions don't just waste minutes. They break your flow, weaken your discipline, and make your mind restless. To grow consistently, you must learn to remove distractions before they interrupt your work. Here are the key lessons from Chapter 11. Know your biggest distractions. Here can't eliminate distractions unless you know what they are. This chapter encourages you to observe what pulls your attention the fastest, what makes you lose track of time, what breaks your focus during important work. For many people, the biggest distractions are phones, notifications, unnecessary conversations, switching between apps or tabs, noise, multitasking. Identify your top triggers. You gain control over them. Reduce digital noise. Digital distractions are the most dangerous because they are constant. This chapter suggests turning off non-essential notifications, muting your phone while working, using only the apps you truly need, keeping your phone out of reach during deep work, closing extra tabs on your computer. Digital simplicity creates mental clarity. Create a focus zone. You need a physical space that signals your brain, this is where I work with full attention. A focus zone should be clean, quiet, organized, free from entertainment items. Over time, your brain learns to enter work mode automatically in this space. Use time blocks to stay in flow instead of working endlessly. Work in structured time blocks. Example, 25-30 minutes of deep focus followed by 5 minutes of rest. Time blocks protect your focus. Reduce mental fatigue. Rope. You finish tasks faster. Create a rhythm your brain can follow. Distractions don't stand a chance when your time is planned. Limit people interruptions. Not all distractions are digital. Many come from people around you. This chapter suggests setting boundaries like letting others know your workhorse, using headphones as a do not disturb signal, avoiding unnecessary conversations, putting your phone on silent during focus time, people who respect your time when you respect it first. Replace distractions with purpose, more meaningful your tasks. The less attractive distractions feel when you know your purpose, your focus strengthens your energy, your mind stops chasing unimportant things. Purpose kills distraction. The final message of this chapter: distractions don't disappear on their own. You must remove them intentionally. Every distraction you eliminate gives you back more time, energy, and mental sharpness. When your environment and habits protect your attention, your productivity increases naturally. Chapter 12: The Power of Consistency Over Time. This chapter highlights a simple but life-changing principle. Great results don't come from intensity, they come from consistency. The author explains that small actions, repeated every day, create far bigger transformation than occasional bursts of motivation. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 12. Consistency beats talent. Many people start strong but fade quickly. Others start small but stay steady, and they eventually win. This chapter reminds you, you don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be the most talented, you just need to show up every day. Consistency turns average efforts into exceptional results. Small steps create big momentum. It's easy to think small actions don't matter, but they accumulate. Examples of tiny but powerful steps: reading 10 minutes a day, writing one paragraph, exercising for 15 minutes, avoiding distractions for 20 minutes, learning one new idea a day. These steps seem small today, but over time they compound into major progress. Build a consistency mindset. Consistency becomes easier when you think long-term. This chapter encourages you to shift your mindset from, I need big results now, to, I just need to show up every day. When your goal becomes showing up, not perfection, you remove pressure and start moving forward naturally. Create routines that support your consistency. Your habits should be tied to a clear routine, such as morning reading, a fixed study, or a nightly journal entry. A daily workouts. Loader routine turns consistency into a lifestyle instead of a struggle. The never miss twice rule. You will miss some days, that's normal. But the chapter teaches a powerful system. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice becomes a habit. Whenever you miss a day, acknowledge it. Reset, show up the next day. This rule keeps your momentum alive. Track your consistency. When you visually track your effort, your motivation grows. Use habit trackers, calendars with checkmarks, journals, apps. Tracking your consistency builds confidence and reminds you how far you've come. Consistency creates identity. Every time you show up, even for a small action, you are proving something to yourself. I am the kind of person who follows through. That identity shift is more powerful than any goal. The chapter's final insight: constancy is not about speed. It's about direction, discipline, and daily commitment. The person who stays consistent will always outperform the person who gives up and restarts. Your future depends on what you repeat, not what you start once. Chapter 13: Protecting your energy and mental space. This chapter teaches one of the most underrated lessons in personal growth. Your energy is limited, and where you spend it decides the quality of your entire life. The author explains that success isn't just about hard work. It's about managing your mental space, avoiding the wrong inputs, and staying emotionally stable so you can give your best to the things that truly matter. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 13. Guard your mind from noise. Your mind gets strained not only by work, but also by unnecessary stress, gossip, negative people, and constant distractions. This chapter reminds you, you don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to absorb every emotion. You don't need every opinion in your head. Protecting your peace is protecting your potential. Choose what enters your attention. Attention is like money. You can invest it or waste it. Be selective about what you watch, who you listen to, what you read, what you think about. When you control what enters your mind, you automatically control the quality of your life. Learn to say no without guilt. Every yes you give others is a no to something important to you. This chapter teaches you the power of saying no. This doesn't help my goals. No, I need time for myself. No, I can't waste energy on this. Saying no isn't selfish, it's smart. Protect your emotional boundary as your mental space becomes stronger when you stop letting people drain you. Set boundaries with negativity, drama, toxic conversations, unrealistic demands. Emotionally heavy, purely healthy boundaries give you mental clarity and emotional strength. Simplify your life. The author explains that a cluttered life creates a cluttered mind. Simplify your tasks, your goals, your digital space, your commitments. When your life becomes lighter, your mind becomes sharper. Spend energy on what truly matters. Your best energy should go to your growth, your skills, your goals, your health, your relationships, your peace. Stop giving your strength to things that don't make your life better. The chapter's final insight: protecting your mental energy is not optional, it's a necessity. A peaceful mind works faster, thinks deeper, and creates better results. Your success depends not just on your effort, but on what you allow to influence your inner world. Guard your energy, and your energy will guard your future. Chapter 14: The Discipline to Keep Going. When it gets hard, this chapter delivers a powerful message. Anyone can stay motivated when things are easy. Discipline is what keeps you moving when everything gets tough. The author explains that every meaningful goal comes with obstacles, slow progress, and moments where you feel stuck. But the people who keep going even when they don't feel like it are the ones who ultimately succeed. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 14. Motivation starts you, discipline sustains you. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes, but discipline is a long-term habit that helps you move forward even on days when you feel tired, unproductive, or uninspired. This chapter reminds you, discipline is a choice. Action creates progress, progress creates motivation. You don't wait to feel ready, you start, and readiness follows. Your hard days are your defining days, and you only can work on a good day. Your identity is built on what you do on the hard days. When you push through low-energy moments, self-doubt, or boredom, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. Hard days make you stronger than easy days ever will. Break the task into smaller pieces when things feel overwhelming. The author advises a simple method. Don't tackle the entire task, just complete the next small step. Examples: write 1 paragraph, study for 10 minutes. Clean 1 section of the room, walk for 5 minutes. Do just the first page. Small steps break resistance and create momentum. Accept that progress isn't always fast. Sometimes you'll work hard and see very little progress. This is normal, not failure. This chapter teaches you to trust the process. Even when the results are invisible, consistency plus patience will always beat speed. Focus on the process, not the pressure. Instead of thinking, I must finish everything today, shift your mindset to, I just need to show up today. When your focus is on showing up, the pressure disappears and discipline becomes much easier. Build a system for tough days. Author suggests having a simple tough day system, something you can follow even at your lowest. Examples of a fallback routine: 10 minutes of deep work, 15 minutes of learning, a short walk, 5 minutes of reading. 1 small productive task. Minimum effort keeps your streak alive and keeps you moving forward. The chapter's final insight: discipline is not about being strong all the time. It's about not giving up when things get uncomfortable. Your future self is shaped by your ability to stay committed, especially when it's hard. If you stay consistent through tough moments, you will reach a level of success most people only dream about. Chapter 15: Designing a Life that Supports Your Growth. This chapter shifts the focus from your habits to your environment because the author explains a powerful truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your surroundings. If your environment supports your growth, success becomes natural. If it doesn't, progress becomes a daily struggle. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 15. Your environment shapes your behavior. Surroundings influence your actions more than motivation does. For example, a clean desk encourages productivity. A quiet room improves focus. Healthy food insight leads to better choices. Clutter creates stress and distraction. This chapter teaches you to design your environment so that good habits become the easy habits. Remove the friction from good habits. You are more likely to stick to a habit when it's convenient. Make good habits smooth, simple, and within reach. Keep your book on your pillow. Keep your workout shoes near the door. Keep your to-do list clear and visible. Keep your study materials ready the night before. The easier a habit is to start, the more consistent you become. Add friction to bad habits just like you make good habits easier. You make bad habits harder. Examples: put your phone in another room while working. Delete distracting apps. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Keep junk food out of reach. When bad habits become inconvenient, they naturally fade away. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Your circle affects your mindset, motivation, and confidence. This chapter suggests surrounding yourself with disciplined people, positive thinkers, learners, creators, people with goals, people who inspire you to grow when your environment is filled with the right energy. You move forward without forcing yourself. Create spaces that match your intentions. Every place should support a purpose. Examples: a clean workspace for deep work, a quiet corner for reading, a distraction-free zone for studying, a small fitness area for quick workouts. When your spaces are purpose-driven, your behavior becomes aligned with your goals. Design routines that reduce decision fatigue. Decisions drain mental energy. The author recommends creating routines that remove overthinking. A morning routine, a fixed study block, a nighttime wind-down ritual. Set weekly planning routines allow your mind to focus on progress instead of constant decision-making. The chapter's final insight: success becomes easier when your environment is designed for it. This chapter leaves you with a powerful reminder: don't rely on willpower alone. Build a life that naturally guides you toward your best self when your surroundings support your goals. Growth stops being a struggle and becomes your default direction. Chapter 16: Breaking the Patterns That Hold You Back. This chapter digs deep into the hidden patterns that quietly sabotage your progress. The author explains that many people don't fail because of a lack of talent or opportunity. They fail because they repeat the same unhelpful patterns without realizing it. To grow, you must learn to break the cycles that keep you stuck. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 16. Identify your repeating patterns. You can't change what you don't see. This chapter encourages you to look at your life honestly and ask, what problems keep coming back? What habits slow me down? What triggers make me lose focus? What thoughts hold me back? Once you recognize your patterns, you can start rewriting them. Replace the pattern. Don't fight it. Trying to fight a bad habit usually makes it stronger. Instead, you replace it with a healthier behavior. Examples: checking your phone, switching to a 10-minute focus timer, overthinking, writing down your thoughts, procrastinating, starting the task for 2 minutes, negative self-talk, using grounded, realistic reminders. Replacement is stronger than resistance. Change your self-talk. Many patterns come from the way you talk to yourself. This chapter teaches you to shift from, I can't do this, to, I'm learning to handle this, this is too hard, to, I can break this in 2 steps. Small shifts in language create massive shifts in behavior. Recognize emotional patterns. Your emotions have habits too. Maybe you shut down when stressed, give up when something feels boring, panic when things go wrong, avoid tasks that feel uncomfortably. The author explains that emotional awareness helps you override these automatic reactions and stay in control. Interrupt the pattern. Immediate lie and you catch yourself repeating an old behavior. Interrupt it fast. Do something small. Stand up. Breathe deeply. Drink water. Reset your focus. Change your environment. Pattern interruptions break the cycle and give your brain a fresh start. Build patterns that support growth instead of letting old habits run your life. Create new patterns that pull you forward. Study at the same time. Daily review goals every morning. Plan your day the night before. Practice mindfulness during stress. Reflect weekly on progress. When your patterns are strong, your progress becomes automatic. The chapter's final insight: your life is shaped by the patterns you repeat, not the intentions you set. The moment you consciously decide to break a limiting cycle, you begin unlocking a new version of yourself. Changing your patterns isn't easy, but it's one of the most powerful transformations you can make. Chapter 17: Turning Knowledge into Real-World Action. This chapter delivers a hard truth many people overlook. Knowing something doesn't change your life, doing something does. The author explains that the gap between knowing and doing is where most dreams die. People learn, read, watch, and plan, but they don't apply. This chapter teaches you how to turn information into daily action that creates real progress. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 17. Action creates clarity. Many people wait to understand everything before they start, but this chapter reminds you, you learn faster by doing. Action reveals what works. Experience teaches more than theory. Clarity comes after action, rarely before it. Reduce learning. Increase applying. Learning is important, but only when it's applied. This chapter encourages you to follow a simple rule: for every 1 hour of learning, do at least 1 hour of applying. Examples: read a chapter, write a summary, watch a tutorial. Practice the technique, learn a concept. Test it in real life. Application solidifies knowledge. Don't wait for the perfect moment. If you wait for perfect timing, you'll wait forever. The author explains that imperfect action beats perfect intentions every time. Start small. Start messy. Start afraid. But start now. Build an action-oriented mindset. You shift your mindset from, "I will start someday," to, "What can I do today?" This mindset change turns ideas into tangible progress. People who act consistently always beat people who think endlessly. Use simple daily action steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming. So break them down into tiny pieces. Examples: 10 minutes of deep work, 1 page of writing, 1 video recorded, 1 skill practiced. One small habit completed. Small actions accumulate into big results. The power of momentum. Review and adjust your actions. Week Life chapter encourages you to set aside time each week to reflect. What worked? What didn't? What needs improvement? What habits should I adjust? Weekly review keeps you aligned and prevents you from drifting. Learn by doing, improve by reflecting. Taking action gives you data. Reflecting on that data makes you better. This cycle of act, review, adjust is how you grow faster than everyone else. The chapter's final insight: knowledge is potential. Action is power. You don't need more information, you need more implementation. Every time you take action, you close the gap between the life you have and the life you want. Chapter 18: Mastering the Art of Staying Calm Under Pressure. This chapter focuses on one of the most important life skills, the ability to stay calm when life gets stressful, chaotic, or overwhelming. The author explains that people who remain centered under pressure make better decisions, stay productive, and avoid emotional burnout. Calmness is not something you're born with, it's a skill you train. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 18. Pressure is not the problem, your reaction. This chapter begins with a powerful truth. 2 people can face the same pressure. One breaks, one stays stable. The difference isn't the situation, it's the mindset. When you learn to respond instead of react, pressure loses its power over you. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your mind. When your mind races, your decisions become emotional and impulsive. A simple technique the author teaches: inhale slowly, hold for a second. Exhale fully. This resets your nervous system and brings instant calm. A calm breath creates a calm mind. Focus on what you can control. Pressure often comes from trying to control things that are outside your reach, other people's opinions, unpredictable events, outcomes you can't fully control. The chapter encourages you to shift your focus to your attitude, your effort, your behavior, your habits, your response. Control the controllable, release the rest. Create mental space before making decisions when emotions are high. Judgment is low. So the chapter suggests pause, step back. Let your mind settle. When a 10-second pause can prevent bad decisions and emotional reactions. Calmness makes space for clarity. Build emotional strength through small challenges. You don't become calm by avoiding stress. You become calm by handling small stressors regularly. Examples: uncomfortable conversations, early morning discipline, cold showers, tough workouts. Managing small setbacks without panic. Every small challenge strengthens your emotional resilience. Reframe stress as growth. Instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" think, "What is this teaching me?" This shift turns pressure into a training ground for maturity and confidence. Growth happens when you learn to stand strong in discomfort. Protect your peace. Daily calmness is easier when your lifestyle supports it. The chapter emphasizes sleep, hydration, meditation or quiet time, staying organized, reducing digital noise, having personal boundaries. A peaceful routine creates a peaceful mind. The chapter's final insight: calmness is a superpower. When you stay steady under pressure, you think better, you act smarter, you stay in control, you protect your energy, you move closer to your goals. Pressure doesn't break you, it reveals how strong you've become. Chapter 19: Building a Life Driven by Purpose. Not pressure. This chapter shifts your focus from daily habits to something much bigger, your purpose, the deeper why behind everything you do. The author explains that most people live on autopilot. They follow routines, respond to demands, chase deadlines, but never stop to ask, what am I really working toward? What kind of life do I actually want? What matters to me the most? When your actions come from purpose, not pressure, your life becomes clearer, calmer, and more meaningful. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 19. Purpose gives direction to your life. Without purpose, you drift. With purpose, you move with intention. Purpose acts like a compass. It guides your choices. It filters your distractions. It keeps you steady during challenges. When you know your why, your how becomes easier. Your purpose doesn't have to be huge. Many people think purpose means changing the world, but the chapter clarifies your purpose can be simple, personal and deeply meaningful to you. Examples: becoming the best version of yourself, supporting your family, mastering a skill, living a calm, disciplined life, helping others grow. Propose doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be true. Listen to what energizes you. Propose becomes clearer when you notice what excites you, what you naturally care about, what makes you proud, what you can do for hours without getting bored, what problems you want to solve. Your energy points you toward your purpose. Align your daily actions with your why. Knowing your purpose is step 1. Living it daily is step 2. This chapter teaches you to ask every morning, what action today moves me closer to my purpose? Even small steps matter when they're aligned with your core direction. Remove things that don't fit your purpose. To protect your purpose, you must say no to unnecessary stress, meaningless tasks, people who drain you, habits that slow you down, distractions that lead nowhere. A life becomes lighter when everything unnecessary is removed. Purpose makes you resilient. When you live with purpose, you don't quit easily. Challenges become part of the journey. Failures become lessons. Setbacks become temporary. Purpose gives you the emotional strength to keep going. Review your purpose as you grow. Propose evolves. As you learn more about yourself, your direction may shift, and that's healthy. The chapter encourages periodic reflection. Is this still meaningful to me? Am I living according to my values? What needs to change? Purpose grows with you. The chapter's final insight: a purpose-driven life is a powerful life when your why is strong. Your mind stays clear, your energy stays focused, your decisions become easier, your discipline becomes natural, your life becomes intentional. Purpose doesn't just guide you, it transforms you. Chapter 20: Becoming the person your future self will thank you for. This final chapter brings everything together with one powerful message. Your future depends on the choices you make today. The author explains that every habit, decision, action, and mindset shift you build is shaping the person you are becoming. You're not just living your life, you're creating your future self. Here are the core lessons from Chapter 20. Your future self is built one choice at a time. Every small decision is a vote for the kind of person you want to be. When you study, you're building a wiser self. When you exercise, you're building a stronger self. When you control distractions, you're building a focused self. When you stay consistent, you're building a disciplined self. Big transformations come from tiny, repeated choices. Imagine your future self clearly. This chapter encourages you to pause and ask, what kind of person do I want to become in 1, 5, or 10 years? Calm, confident, successful, disciplined, financially free, emotionally strong. When you create a clear mental picture, your daily actions start aligning with it automatically. Make decisions that match who you want to be. Your future self grows when your choices follow your vision. Instead of asking, what do I feel like doing right now? Ask, what would my future self want me to do? This mindset turns impulse into intention. Let go of who you used to be. Many people stay stuck because they cling to old identities. I'm not disciplined, I'm not smart enough, I always procrastinate, I can't stay consistent. This chapter teaches you to release these labels. You are not your past, you are your chosen direction. Every day gives you a chance to reinvent yourself. Protect the habits that shape your future. Small habits determine long-term success. This chapter emphasizes deep work, daily learning, consistency, mindfulness, purpose-driven action, healthy routines, digital discipline. A product. These habits, like your future, depends on them because it does. Your environment and people matter. Your surroundings either push you forward or pull you backward. Choose people who inspire growth, spaces that support focus, routines that reinforce progress. Your future self grows in the right atmosphere. Celebrate growth, not perfection. The author closes with a reminder, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than yesterday. Celebrate small wins, small habits, small improvements, small steps forward. Degrees compounds. Over time, small wins create a big life. The chapter's final insight: your future self is watching you. Every disciplined moment, every small habit, every focused session. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're shaping a version of yourself you will be proud of. You're not just building habits. You're building a life, and your future self will thank you for it.